Boy, I'd Judy chop you across the room, son. You come at me like that, I don't think I want Judy chop you across the room.
Do you know how quick I am, dog?
Bro, son, you might be quick, but I'll slap knots on your head faster than you can rub them.
I'd have stopped it like that. Before you was on.
Fair. All right.
That's the only way to stop a Judy chop. I don't know if you know that or not.
I know, that's kind of why I'm kind of flabbergasted that you knew that, so let me be quiet. Judy, I'll kung fu kick you next time.
How you stop that kung fu kick?
You stop it like this, then you turn around and poke it in the eye.
Dog. Come around here talking about some of that.
I'm not trying to get chi blasted, fella.
Bro, I'll chi blast you from here to Walmart. I'm like freaking Goku, son. Nay, bro.
I told you, do it to Jared, not me. Dang.
Bro.
I don't want that.
Bro, I trained under George Dillman himself. The master of the no-touch knockout. The George Dillman, yeah.
You gonna be doing a seminar here soon?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to.
Can I learn the Jejunum punch?
I don't know if you know the sarcasm.
You know the Jejunum punch?
Oh, bro. I don't know if you watch on my YouTube channel, but
I've never thrown up, so.
I speak about jejunum punches a lot.
I'm gonna hit you square in the jejunum.
Right in the jejunum! Punch him right in the jejunum. In the jejunum! Right in the jejunum!
So my wife, their squadron held a holiday party at the convention center this past weekend, and they brought food instead of having people come out and cook, and everyone got food poisoning. And local officers came in and they were like, "Hey, you want some food?" And they were like, "Yeah, we'll take it." And I was just thinking like, "Oh,
I have no parts in this."
Yeah, they're probably.
Bro, you know, that'd be a really smart way to rob a bank, right? Be like, "Hey guys, we brought y'all some food.
Happy holidays.
What police officer ain't finna need that food? We see y'all.
Give it to the bank
We
tellers.
see what y'all look like. Y'all eating. Y'all ain't missing no meals, okay? Like, I'm just saying, y'all ain't firemen.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that's the thing. What firemen have you seen save a house?
a lot.
When's the last time you saw a house not burned?
In the city, that's
Look how bad. Hating.
how the police stop crime when it's not drug related. So when's the last time police really stopped a crime, a real crime? I'm talking about not a victimless crime, like somebody forgetting to buckle their seatbelt or holding like some marijuana. I'm just playing. I support law enforcement 100%. I'm giving my friend Petey a hard time is all I'm doing.
He supports firemen.
I support both. I'm just saying firemen are more fit than y'all. As a general rule, firemen are more fit.
I'll be strong and in shape too if I worked out all day.
I know. Agreed. I 100% agree. I get why. I'm just saying that facts are facts. There's a lot of officers. I'm just wondering real heavy how they got in that vest. That's how you know how good cookies are. Because cops who could potentially get killed at work are like, well, I'm too fat to fit in my vest. So I could die.
That happened last year.
But instead, I'm gonna keep eating these cookies. Nice work, guys. There's one thing that I can tell you, a piece of advice that I've heard from several people but taken to heart, especially more recently in my life. It's don't be afraid to suck at stuff, okay? Don't be afraid to suck.
Hey, yo!
Sucking is part of the process. Nobody's great at things when they first start. Nobody's great usually on year 1 or year 2 or even year 3 or 4. It takes time to be great. It takes time to be awesome at something. It takes time. And if you spend your life being afraid to suck, you never start new things, and more importantly, you don't stick to new things because you're gonna suck. You're gonna suck when you start things new. And this is a hard thing for me because I hate to suck. I like to be awesome. I like to be the guy that everybody talks about how awesome he is and stuff. You know, so I work really hard, but as I got older, I realized I don't want to try. I'm not trying new things. I'm not experiencing new things. I'm not getting outside my comfort zone. I'm not in my jiu-jitsu game for a long time. I didn't try things I called fancy. I was like, oh, I just need stuff for MMA or whatever. Like, I don't want to try that. But I was holding myself back because I knew I was going to suck at it. You know, mobility was not like strength that always came easily to me. Mobility didn't. And so a lot of mobile jiu-jitsu, for instance, like some of you guys may be in here and you're stiff and you're tight. I've been there, okay? You just got to suck at it for a little while, and then you'll get better at it, and that's how it goes. Don't be afraid to suck at things. Suck at new things. Suck at old things. Just be okay, but let go of the ego, because what makes you want to hold on to being great at something is your ego. It's your idea of self. It's just, I believe that I'm the shit, or you don't really believe you're the shit, and you don't want to have any information backing up the fact you don't think you're the shit, like deep down, right? That's why you don't want to suck at things. But you can't be good if you don't suck first. Oh, get out of here, guys. Oh, good job. Oh, good job, guys. Oh.
I'm gonna play that to my wife. You gotta suck to be good. I'm gonna play it for my wife.
Yeah. Hear that, Drew's wife? You gotta suck to be good.
You heard it from him.
You heard it here first. And if there's anything that's an expert, it's my jiu-jitsu coach. Take all your life advice from him. That's why I started a podcast, because you know, being a jiu-jitsu coach, that qualifies me to have an opinion on everything. That's the way I see it.
One of the funniest comments on your TikTok was one dude was like, "Who told this dude he needs to have a podcast?" And you're like, "I probably don't."
I tell everybody. There's been several people that have said that, and they're like, "Just everybody can have a podcast now." Like, yeah, pretty much. Like, what qualified me to have a podcast? I had enough money for a mixing board and some mics.
I know.
That's what qualified me to have a podcast. I don't know. I say stuff. Sometimes people think it's funny. I started a podcast. I'm gonna say. You're from Florida. Bro, everybody's in Florida. There's cowboys in Florida. That's the highest percentage of types of people anywhere in the world is Florida.
I heard Florida man was a cowboy.
Florida man.
Who's Florida man?
Type in Florida man on Google. Type in Florida man and your birthday.
Florida man.
I'm kind of scared now.
No, do Florida man in like July 1st.
Yeah, whatever your birthday is.
On July 1st, the Florida man threw, I don't know. It says something about he's pelted his girlfriend with McDonald's
So let me give you
sweet and
that.
sour sauce.
If you type in Florida man and your birthday, it'll give you a story about a Florida man doing something on your birthday.
Right.
Like,
We've been so removed from what violence looks like as a culture as we've moved away from fighting with our hands. And there's a lot of people that say, oh, you know, back in the day, people didn't grapple in fights. Like, they absolutely, now, did they do jiu-jitsu? Did they pull guard? No, but they did grapple. Like, you held people down and punched them. You like wrestling has always been a very intricate and important part of combat throughout all of human history. And so that's the reason why WWE, we were convinced that was real in the 90s. Because we didn't know what fighting looked like. We thought fighting was WWE and that shit that Steven Seagal was doing where he's taking out 20 dudes. That's what we thought fighting was. And that's why there's so many people walking around who think that they're just the shit. Because they've watched so many movies of John Wick just like destroying 70 people, and they think that if they get mad enough that that's gonna be them. Why they think that, nobody knows.
Do you know how many people, like, I'll talk to you on the phone that are like, yeah, I've been watching these movies, or like, I've been like, you know, these movies just like really like, I think I'm ready. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You are. Come on.
I can get you this
Perfect.
Thursday at
Yeah.
5:45.
Perfect, good for you. I've had guns pointed at me a couple times in my life. I'm gonna tell y'all the scariest. I'd gotten into a fist fight at a gas station when I was 16. Then all their friends showed up and we had to run because it was like 4 of us and there were 30 of them. We ended up running away. As we run, I tell my buddy to get on the bypass. Instead, he turns right on this dirt road.
Oh, God.
So we fly down this dirt road. We go hide in the woods for a minute. We're like, all right, well, let's just take this dirt road then because they're waiting on us. They're sitting and waiting on us at the end of the driveway. So let's go try to go out the other end of the dirt road. We go all the way to the dirt road. It's a dead end. We turn around and we're coming back. And as we're coming back, I see headlights coming up behind us. Apparently, we were on private property. Didn't know that yet. So as we're going, this Mazda Miata comes up next to us, guns it, and cuts us off. And I'm yelling at my cousin. We were in a piece of crap S10 that he had already wrecked 9 times. I'm like, hit that mother, hit him. He didn't, he hit the brakes. We get out, and it was a woman at first, right? And the woman gets out and doesn't say anything, and then this old man, probably in his 70s or 80s, pulls out in front of me. He pulls out a shotgun and gets me to Brandon and points it down, barrel to my face. And he looks at me and he's like, what are you doing on my property? I was like, look, man, I had a big old black eye. My eye was swollen. I was like, look, man, I just got in a fight. We were gonna get jumped. We ran. I came down your road. And they'd already inspected their like property to make sure we hadn't stolen anything. So they knew we didn't steal anything. He said, son, he said, you better back up. He said, I've got 6 months left to live. I was diagnosed with like pancreatic cancer 6 months ago. Yeah. I've got 6 months left to live. And he said, if you think for a moment that I will hesitate to spend this last 5 to 6 months in a jail cell as opposed to a hospital room, he was like, I don't give a shit. And I was like, I was just looking at him, and he had been like in law enforcement most of his life and stuff. And I was just like, I believe this guy. Yeah. I just believed him. I was like, yeah. I was like, yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir. So they call my parent, they call the law, my law comes out there, my parents get there, my dad parks behind the cop. As the cop's leaving, the cop backs into my dad's truck.
No.
So my dad is in a phenomenal mood on the way home. I had an awesome time with that one, yeah. Can't be good if you don't suck first.
That's what she said.